Kiev. A ballistic missile attack on an office building in the early hours of the morning. I believe air defense missile experts will soon determine the type of missile based on the footage. Also note that the second attack on the adjacent building was of the same nature, the striking elements of the anti-aircraft missile after the first attack.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
Yesterday, the Ukrainian Armed Forces released a video showing a Leopard 2A4 tank belonging to the 155th Mechanized Brigade firing at a tall building in the outskirts of Pokrovsk while searching for a Russian sabotage and reconnaissance group. Today, a video emerged showing this Leopard tank damaged on one of the city streets. Russian FPV drones destroyed the Leopard 2A4 tank after several accurate hits. According to a statement from the Ministry of Defense, Russian armed forces destroyed a fort belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the direction of Krasnoarmysk. Here are images from that moment. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. According to footage released by the Russian Defense Ministry, sniper pairs from Ivanovo parachute units are eliminating Ukrainian armed forces personnel near Chasiv Yar in Donetsk every day.
Цель. Подтверждаю.
The temporary deployment site of the 155th Separate Mechanized Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces near Krasnoarmysk was hit by a FAB-250 aerial bomb. The X-39 missile destroyed the enemy's 14th Airborne Brigade UAV control center near Petropavlivka in the Kupiansk direction. According to the Russian Defense Ministry, UAV activity in the area significantly decreased following the attack. Soldiers from the 16th Special Forces Brigade shot a Ukrainian soldier in Kupiansk as he fired at a Russian drone. The arrival of 305 LMUR products in color via the Ukrainian Armed Forces PVD towards Kherson. According to a statement from the Russian Defense Ministry, artillery units belonging to the Dnipro Group struck Ukrainian Armed Forces defensive positions in the Zaporizhzhia region. Objective monitoring of fire damage at Ukrainian positions in Volchansk. Russian aviation found another location where Ukrainian forces were stationed in the village of Antonivka in the Kherson region. The rotary wing aircraft destroyed this position with an X-39 LMUR strike. In the meantime, you can use YouTube Super Thank You to support us and our content. We need it to continue with our videos. UAV operators affiliated with the Southern Military Group destroyed 3 temporary staging areas belonging to Ukrainian forces in the Donetsk direction. Fiber optic drones and aircraft-type drones destroyed the positions. The temporary deployment point of the Ukrainian armed forces was destroyed when a Russian fiber-optic drone landed hard. UAV operators of the 38th Independent Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the 35th Combined Arms Army destroyed a camouflaged Ukrainian Armed Forces mortar and position in the Poloyskoye direction. The 25th Army Forces destroyed the position and the personnel inside as a result of an accurate strike by the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Kharkiv direction. Ukrainian armed forces engaged a T-72 tank in support of battle groups in the Liptsovsky direction. The location of the Ukrainian armed forces tank was revealed by Russian reconnaissance and attack. UAV operators destroyed the tank. Russian FPV drones first strike the shelter in the direction of Konstantinovka. Then they blow up the ammunition around the shelter. After that, an UAV control point in the same direction is discovered. The coordinates are calculated precisely and reported to the fiber-optic drone operators. The fiber-optic drone collapses the basement with a single strike. UAV operators affiliated with the 29th Guards Combined Arms Army destroyed a Baba Yaga-type UAV with precision strikes. An unmanned aerial vehicle belonging to the Rubicon Combat Unit discovered a camouflaged Ukrainian Armed Forces T-72 tank in a forest near the village of Yampolivka while on a reconnaissance mission. The tank was destroyed in a series of attacks. Soldiers from the 123rd Separate Motorized Rifle Regiment of the Southern Military District destroyed a Ukrainian Armed Forces drone shelter and a command center. Ukrainian positions were identified during an aerial reconnaissance mission in the Seversky direction as part of the special military operation. After obtaining the coordinates, FPV drone operators immediately struck the shelter, its personnel, and the UAV control center. Shows Taus's work at the Ukrainian Armed Forces fort near the village of Muravka. Footage of a Ukrainian Armed Forces drone control center being destroyed near the village of Dylivka by drone operators belonging to the Southern Forces Group. The footage shows artillery unit attacks. The Russians are continuously striking Ukrainian positions with drone operators and artillery units. The Russians are intensively bombing Ukrainian forces, preventing their infantry from raising their heads. Special forces affiliated with the South Group struck an M113 armored personnel carrier and a group of Ukrainian Armed Forces infantry. The infantry attempted to disembark from the vehicle, which had been rendered inoperable, and take cover in the forest. However, drones equipped with munitions prevented the soldiers from escaping.
Орудие! Заряжен. Орудие! Заряжен. Орудие!
A 152mm Emsta-B gun, fired by Tula Airborne Artillery, destroyed a position of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Sumy region. Near Chasiv Yar, a strategic point in Donbass, artillery units belonging to Russia's elite Ivanovo Airborne Division, VDV, carried out an intense and accurate bombardment of Ukrainian defense lines. The strikes completely destroyed Ukraine's frontline trenches, ammunition depots, and infantry units. According to a statement from the Russian Ministry of Defense, the South Group has completed its rescue operation in Delivka, Donetsk, and is continuing to advance deeper into Ukrainian defenses. Two Ukrainian soldiers were spotted moving in the direction of Kupiansk. Then, drones carrying TM-62s flew over the road and fired anti-tank mines at the shelter where the two soldiers were located. After a few TM-62s, the shelter was destroyed. The TOS-1A launched heavy attacks on the 57th Brigade, which was hiding in a wooded area near Volchansk. The destruction of a rare 2S7 Pion self-propelled gun and HMMWV armored vehicle belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the Krasnolimanska direction by fiber-optic UAV operators attached to the 144th Motorized Rifle Division. The epic destruction of a Ukrainian radar station in the Chernigiv region. Garin observed the ST-68-36D6 radar station near the village of Borzna. UAVs hit the target accurately, leaving no chance for escape. Don't forget to join our Telegram group. Russian armed forces liberated the village of Oleksandro Kalinove on the Konstantinovka direction. Footage of rescue operations recorded. One by one, the positions of the Ukrainian forces were detected by reconnaissance drones and destroyed by both ground and airstrikes. Drones, kamikazes carried out intense attacks. Russian forces destroyed positions at close range with grenades and rocket launchers. Ukrainian soldiers were captured and evacuated. Artillerymen of the 8th Artillery Division of the Southern Army in the Konstantinovka direction in Donetsk are using the latest 152mm self-propelled howitzer Hyacinth K on the wheeled chassis BAZ 6910-027. The self-propelled vehicle allows the Army to fire cluster projectiles at a range of more than 30 kilometers, the Russian Defense Ministry said. The Russian Defense Ministry demonstrated the operation of the robotic system equipped with a 7.62mm PKT machine gun to Vostok soldiers. On the battlefield, robotic systems are now used for many different purposes. Do you think only robots will fight in the future? Will there be only robot operators in the future? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Footage of the destruction of the REB system used by the Ukrainian armed forces to intercept Russian drones in the direction of Kupiansk by a Russian fiber optic drone. Destruction of a towed 122mm D-30 howitzer of the Armed Forces of Ukraine by FPV UAV operators of the South Group near Serebryanka. Images from the combat operations of the Central Union Forces units during the liberation of the village of Zverevo in Donetsk. The offensive was conducted using the tactic of secretly accumulating forces and methodically clearing Ukrainian forces' fortifications. The fighters advanced step by step, clearing the settlements one by one. Having suffered significant losses, the Ukrainian forces retreated and, unable to form a stable defense, left the battlefield. In the Seversk region, the Russians used the Lancet drone to destroy a tank of the Ukrainian armed forces with a precision strike. After the Lancet hit, the tank caught fire and burned to scrap. Destruction of 2 Ukrainian armed forces robotic platforms near Lipsy in Kharkiv region.